Namaskar and welcome to this English edition of PGurus channel. I'm your host and host Sumit P, and I welcome you to the Sumit P show. Today we are going to talk about a couple of things, and this program is Ask Sumit. You can ask as many questions you want, and it can be out of the syllabus as well. It doesn't have to pertain to this topic only. So we'll be willing to happy to answer and assist with all the questions you have. So in the name of Bhagwan Sree Ganesha, let's do the Sree Ganeshas of today's show. What we have what we are coming to know, Fordow is bombed again. Blocking of Strait of Hormuz is suicidal for Iran, and what is happening? Trump is fuming and threatening. Bilawal is vomiting, and there are many more things which are happening, and India has slammed OIC, and a lot of more things which are on our cards. So let's start, friends. The first and important thing is we all know about what happened in Fordow. We know about those 6 holes in the mountain, and we know possibly 12 bunker busters were used. And amidst whatever people are saying and amidst whatever Iran is trying to say, all is happy and all is good, everything is fine, we know that the site is useless. And as per International Atomic Energy Agency, they say that we need to have an emergency meeting because we need to understand Fordow, because according to them, the site has been completely decimated and site cannot be restored. It is dysfunctional as on date, and there might be possible of which is a very strong contamination is almost certain, and more than contamination, there can be possible of some radiation leaks as well, which are being contemplated. And the information we are getting, a lot of people who were in the site have been eliminated, unfortunately. And with all this happening, with Iran trying to put a brave face, the site is still functional, the site is still working, we have done this, but the fact remains, site is completely decimated, and site cannot be worked, site cannot be restored. Even if you want to work on it, look, if the site is contaminated, we have 2 things. One is that urofluoric acid, which we have talked about, and that is the ural fluorides. Ural fluorides are so dangerous, even if it's a gas which is kind of which U-235 will kind of emit as soon as it gets into the in touch with the moisture in the air. Basically, it's stored as gas. When the uranium is enriched to 60%, I will not take a lot of time. I'll just tell you it's as a gas. And those gas are fed at minus 57 degrees to centrifuges, and then the enrichment to 90% happens, where it becomes a metal, U2O. That metal goes into the bomb. That is this history. But at 65, it's like a gas, and they're kept in those special corrosive resistant containers, and they're 100% sealed. Any touch with the open air, moisture is formed, it reacts urofluoric acid and urofluorides. Urofluorides are extremely toxic and dangerous. A bit in the air, that's the end of the story. Person will immediately die. It's not tomorrow and day after. They will immediately die. So the half-life of uranium is 4.5 billion years. Practically, it doesn't end. That is where the uranium is. That is where the urofluorides are, and that's where the question is. So the site is contaminated. It might not be leaking radiation, but it is already contaminated. And there's a technical point here. So if you have uranium at 60%, will it ever emit radiation or not? But that urofluorides, I don't know, can you count it as a radiation or not? I'm not very sure on that. But so that is where the position of the site is. Now what we come to know is today that Israel has bombed Fordow again. Now the question is, why did Israel need to go and bomb the Fordow? You already B2s went after America. They didn't touch down in Guam. They didn't touch it out at 𝗤𝗏𝗄𝗏. They did not touch down. All the way, KC-135 tankers were coming up in the air, going along with them, filling them and going. One B2 can do 11,000 miles on one fill, and then after you need a second fill. So this is the biggest ever B2 operation done by American Air Force in the world. Midnight Hammer was the name of the operation. And there's one more theory to it. What took B2 36 hours to come here? More than 36 hours, because the distance from Tehran to America is not 36 hours. That too for a B2 super stealth bomber, which goes at a very high speed. So basically, the logic is they've been hovering around here, and they've been waiting for the right opportunity to come, which is in 2 came, they destroyed, and they look. After Operation Spiderweb, we have the most expensive assets are B2s, and they are kept in various ground bases. We can shelter the bases. There's not more than 20 of these bombers, and all are not B2s. They are B-52s, and there are other versions as well. But America says, if my fleet, because at least we know within Ukrainian attack, 12 of that America's punch will go. So Americans are not taking chance after the Operation Spiderweb. No Guam touching, no 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪, just go back to US and keep them in a secure database. That is what they did. Now, when we're done, we are going to set it. They cannot be used again. And there is a possibility of a radiation leak, which we have to contemplate. 150 kilometers from Guam to Fordow 180. So Tehran to Fordow 180 kilometers only. And that, the aerial distance might be much lesser. So there's problems there. And there's a question of radiation leak. Well, it will go much bigger and wider than what we could have even imagined. But let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's see what happened. Now, what if that is the case and that is what is happening in the world? That is what the IAEA is saying, International Atomic Energy Agency is saying. Why does Israel need to go bombing it? What the Israelis say, we send an F-35s because we are bombing the vicinity. Why you are bombing in the vicinity? Because we are dismantling all the roads which can go to Fordow. So all the roads, because there were roads which are going to those 5 towns, there were. So now, even if you want, you cannot go by a car there. Forget the truck, forget everything. You cannot go to that car there. Now, what are the reasons? I think the reasons are, one, you don't want that site to be repaired. You don't want those heavy trucks and machinery to reach there. You will keep on bombing it, and so that you know, possibly there are some UFL, Eurofluorides, which all the roads and all the LAs and ways will try to keep away. That is what, in my opinion, the bombing is about. I think it's more of a preventive bombing than destructive bombing. Because look, if Israelis go before, they could have bombed the packing there. In both the cases, you will not let people to go there. I think leaking is more of a possibility. You will ask me why. Because building will not happen tomorrow. Even if the site is intact, if we believe everything is good. So even going in that after 1 month. Because, or they could have done it with the attack. Possibly the sites are leaking. Or possibly the sites are heavily contaminated. They don't want people to even go near to the sites, and then they might become a religious thing that Jews came and destroyed our sites, and destroyed our sites, and they are killing. Radiation is killing our people. That is the reason it's happening. Now, second very important aspect of it is, we heard yesterday after this bashing. We had Khomeini was saying. Oh, by the way, anybody heard about Khomeini? I have not heard about him in 24 hours. In my assessment, 70 to 80% he's dead. My personal assessment, 70 to 80% he's dead, and the chance of him being fine and live and kicking is not more than 10%. I think. And now what I was tracking the media, and I was tracking the Irani media. They're saying only 1 or 2 people is going, and he's giving some handwritten notes. So he's not even talking to somebody on the phone. He's not even on a landline. He's not in a walkie-talkie, low frequency, UHF, VHF, nothing. Not even outside the bunker. You can draw a cut. You can have a Cat5 cable connecting 2 phones, and you can still talk on that. He's not even using that. He's giving some handwritten cryptic notes. Now God knows what these notes are. And when he has not nominated his son, there's all possibility the man is either over or is not in a capacity to do so. I think the Iranis are not announcing it, because remember, the Khamenei said the kind of retaliation what will come after this attack is that what Zionist regime will not even think of, they cannot even hear of, they'll be shattered. They can't even imagine the retaliation which is going to hit them. And what did I find, man? 10 missiles? 10. That's not what they fired yesterday. And today, I think 5 waves, 15 missiles. And I think 1 or 2 hits were there, but they were not at the right place. Yesterday, a couple of them hit. And though luckily the places were evacuated, not a human casualty loss. And what the IDF is doing, IDF is bombarding them right, left, and center and decimating them. Today, the IRGC's headquarters in Tehran, the complete headquarters of Tehran, IRGC in Tehran, completely decimated, completely gone. Now, what happened last night? The Iranian parliament passed a resolution. Let's kind of block the Strait of Hormuz. Now, what is Strait of Hormuz? A lot of oil. World's 20% of the oil passes through that alley. It's a very small alley, 33 kilometers wide, and Irani Navy is here. They are thinking we'll block this this alley like this. So then the oil cannot pass through that. What is going to be the impact on the world? What is the practicality? What is going to be the impact of India? And how can Iran do it? And do they have a practice of doing it? Is it practically possible? Is it feasible? If yes, what are their tools? And if no, why they are doing this? And if at all they do it, how long can they hold? There are some of the important and the pertinent questions which must be coming in your mind, and I will take this pleasure to answer all of them. First of all, is this militarily possible? Yes, it is militarily possible. Has Iran thought of this? Yes, Iran has thought of it, and they have done exercises, military exercises, how to block the strait. And one of the exercises which I know was the exercise called Great Prophet. The Great Prophet was done extensively how to block the strait. Now, will Iran block the strait? Mullah regime is suicidal. They can do it. They can possibly block the strait. I won't be surprised. Can they block the strait? Yes, they can block the strait maybe for 72 hours maximum. Because blocking the strait means you're picking up a fight with everybody, including your neighbors in the Middle East, including China, India, NATO, and everybody. And the Fifth Fleet of America in Bahrain is exactly placed for this. They have to make sure these choke points are never there. So you have to take on American Navy directly head on in. And then possibly NATO, then possibly India, then Chinese, then the wrath of the whole world. And even if you try to do it, you can do it for 24, 72 hours, 36, 70. After that, what is going to happen? Even if Iran tries to do it, I'm telling you, friends, this will be the suicide of the Navy. The Navy will be wiped off. Complete Iranian Navy will be wiped off. It is impossible to block that strait. Even Chinese have warned them today. By the way, their good friend China has warned them today, don't block the strait. We're not happy with it. If you do it, we're going to beat the shit out of you guys. Don't do it. And does Iran have the firepower to do it? Yes, for 24 to 36 hours maximum. Even less than that. What do they have? They have high-speed boats. They have those anti-ship mines. They have torpedoes, and they have a couple of other, those short-range missiles which they can use. But beyond that, they can't do much. And does the world have an answer to that? The world has numerous answers to that. So what is immediately going to happen? Look, if Strait of Hormuz is blocked, the oil supplies have to be diverted from elsewhere. So the cost of oil and cost of insurance and the logistics will go up. How much of India's oil comes through that? That is a logical question which must come. Well, we import around 5 million barrels a day, and approximately 2 millions come from that. So 40% of oil comes through Strait of Hormuz. What happens if the Strait of Hormuz is blocked? Our oil prices will go up. Yes, sir, they will go up. How much? 10, 20 rupees. And what is the alternate? Alternate is you have to route your supplies from everywhere, elsewhere. Do we have the supplies? Yes, we have the supplies. We can route them, but it will be time consuming and expensive. Remember, I told you 𝗏𝗔 had already warned about this. These are possibilities which might happen. And how much of worst comes to worst, it's a big fight, big war. How long can India hold? India usually holds 9 to 10 days of supplies as reserves. So even if you kind of say 40% is not coming, so you can pull it for 20, 25, 30 days. That should be good enough to maintain the logistics. While as high sulfur oil available from Russia and few other sources, our refineries are fully capable of refining them. So we should not be in a problem if even we buy more Russian oil and all. We'll be able to manage that. So that is not a problem. Meanwhile, 𝗥𝗚𝗏𝗏 has landed. So let me complete the Strait of Hormuz. So there's so many things I want to talk about Iran. So this will be the ultimate suicidal move if they try. This will be the ultimate on the board. Navy has to be wiped off. And Iranian Navy is not such which can handle all this. They can't even handle the fifth, forget everything else. Even the Fifth Fleet alone can dismantle them. Then America has 2 gigantic aircraft carriers placed there. They're exactly for this job. You cut the brief and you will do. So what will Iran do? In my opinion, there's something called gray zone warfare. And they already started that, by the way. What is gray zone warfare? Gray zone warfare is wherein you will not fight anybody, but you will posture. You will pretend to have mines in the sea. You will send your boats and come back. You will have those boats going around there. You will have your ships blocking there. So what will you will delay? You will harass. You will delay. You will harass. You will cajole. You will be basically making the life of people passing through that street difficult. You will make strait that look so vulnerable. You will make look that the war can break out anytime. And you will make them look, this is not the place where you should be. Now, you can ask me, Sumit bhai, what you are saying, why should I believe you? Logical, right? Absolutely right. You should not believe me. But pull the data for last 24 hours. How many major tankers have taken a U-turn? Suspecting and seeing the situation and seeing this American attack on the Iranian nuclear facilities, a lot of people, a lot of major containers, including Chinese containers, have taken a U-turn. They are taking alternate route. So this is exactly what we classify as a gray zone warfare. Gray zone warfare, Iran can sustain for much longer time. Hell, it is maybe 72 hours or 48. Here, they can sustain for a much longer time. And the advantage is your Navy won't be decimated. A couple of your boats might go, a couple of your small arms might go, but you won't be able to do anything much. But as far as I understand this regime, friends, this regime is suicidal. They can do anything which is suicidal, and blocking Strait of Hormuz using their Navy is suicidal. Though the naval commander of Iran has said we are already prepared for this. Yes, they have a preparation, they have a SOP, they have practiced it before, but practically really blocking it at a practice is something totally different. And with all the countries warning them, including United States of America and China, and I don't think much is going to happen. But in the meanwhile, 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗧 landed up in Moscow. He met Putin. And what we are coming to know is something very sensational, because Americans are telling us that we did not tell Russians about the proposed strikes. But what I'm hearing now, Americans told that we had informed everybody in the Gulf. Mind my words, Americans are telling me we have informed everybody in the Gulf that we are going to beat the shit out of this Iran's nuclear facility. So everybody in the Gulf, including MBS, including the big boys, they seem to be knowing that. But if they seem to be knowing that, why are they pretending to be surprised? Now the America spilled the piece, and I told them that I'm going to go and attack these sites, and they always knew. So whole of Middle East knew that the site is coming, and the Shia-Sunni problem is centuries old, right? At least hundreds of years old. Sorry, Islam is only 1400 years old. I beg your pardon. I should have not said that. I always, get carried away by Hinduism, which is centuries old. But yeah, Islam, 1400 years. Sorry, sir. I have to take my words back. So now this Shia-Sunni problem has been there for hundreds of years. Yeah, you know all that. Now, you see, Sunni world is okay. If Iran gets hit, it's okay. So if the whole of the Middle East knew, if all the major countries knew, okay, Russia might have a reason to be disgruntled. You never told us. That means the whole of the Middle East knew, and obviously nobody told them. Nobody stopped anything. By the way, my guess also validates here what I have been telling you, that is all possibility. When Trump insisted on having a call with Modi ji when he left early from G7, I stretched my neck out and told you, my gut tells me he has told Modi ji 99%. Because now why it is more validated, because if he spoke to MBS and all other partners in the region, there's obviously he spoke to Modi ji also. He must have told them something, but not exact date and time and when and where they're going to. But they're saying, we're contemplating this, something, it might happen. So don't be surprised, we were contemplating all this. So I think even India was taken in confidence. India was told, because we are the superpower, we're a power emerging. So this is what is happening on the Strait of Hormuz. Tankers are turning back. Traffic is raiding, is kind of falling. I had predicted that they will go into more of a gray zone warfare. That is most likely, but they will not try to attempt the big kinetic strike, because Americans are waiting for them to do one mistake. One mistake, you are decimated. But you will ask me a question, will this mullah regime dare to attack Americans? Yes. Do they have the power? No. Do they have the missiles? Yes, they have a couple of short-range missiles. Again, the bases in Syria and Iraq, I'm stretching my neck out and telling you, the bases in Syria and Iraq will be attacked. They will attack them. Let that be sure. Today, tomorrow, whenever. They are going to attack those bases in Syria. That is for sure. And bases in Syria and Iraq, and even PML and all are contemplating that they will join them. And what the intel says is that even these Hezbollah, Houthis and all, they are also all their guns blazing. They want the rockets to come in, and they want to go for duck hunting. They call Americans the ducks in those bases. America has more than 40,000 people in the Middle East. And if I look at what the 𝗵𝗽𝗫 has to say, JD Vance said, we have deployed everything and anything what we could do to stop this fiasco of if we have a base attacked. But we may not be able to save every man and woman. So America, in a way, is kind of saying, we are ready to take some body bags. I swear to God, if body bags start coming to America, there are going to be many more bodies which have to be buried in Middle East. Many more bodies have to be buried, 10 times, 100 times, I don't know. Look at the history, you can make a guess. Is it multiple of 10 or 100 or 1,000? I have no idea. I think this time it must be 100, because it's Trump at the helm of affairs. So that is where the position is. Let's hope they don't do anything crazy, they don't do anything stupid. But this regime can do it. If you ask me, can they do it? 101% they can do it. They're insane people. So that's happening on the point number 2. So the Strait of Hormuz, India, pushing oil, 120 up to 120 rupees a liter it might go. That is where likely it will go, but not beyond that. So you and me have to put maybe 20 rupees more per liter, but that's how life is, and what to do. And we never created this war, but the wars come and war go. Okay, what is Iran posturing? Iran is been constantly warning. Iran has been constantly tumtuming. Iran has been constantly saying that we will attack Americans. Now, where can they attack Americans? They can't go to America and attack Americans. By the way, Iran does anybody know Iran has a jet which can fly? To best of my knowledge, there is no jet. And I was telling you about these 𝗍𝗚𝗏 33s, which were given them by Russia at S-300s. They can't detect anything about B-2 bomber. They won't even know when it came in. Even B-2 bombers have numerous times flown over China, and China could never find one. So that is how the B-2 works. But so nothing happened there. Oh, wait, sorry, where were we? We were on this. So Iran is posturing, saying that we are going to attack American assets and all. We hope and pray they don't. They have a couple of short-range missiles which they can use to attack the American bases, and bases which are very, very near are Iraq and Syria, which they can try to attack. And Syria, still they will have a friendly regime. Iraq, because of PML support and PML kind of talking about them, and then still then your Houthis and all which are in the vicinity, they will still try to do that. And IDF is all prepared. IDF will handle them if they do it, and there will be a lot of people which will be dead. So America is bracing for the attack. America knows there will be a couple of body bags, but America has to live with it. But if that happens, American attacks are going to be not mass murder. American attacks are to be very precision. They will attack with precision. They will attack with accuracy. America will not cross the line unless and until they cross the line. That is what the American position is. And Israel will also not cross the line if they don't cross the line. But there is that two red lines here, Bushehr and Dimona. If somebody attacks Dimona, which is undeclared nuclear site of Israel, if Dimona gets attacked, the Bushehr, the reactor I told you about, which is run by Russian atomic energy and has 2030 run, and it is on LEU, lowly energized, it will be radiation everywhere, and it is on the Persian Gulf coast, and the devastation will be such you have to close the Persian Gulf coast. So very religious place in Islam. It was in Haifa. Iranian missile brought that down. Now, was that coincidence or was a missile targeted at that? My logic says the missile was targeted at because Iranis don't like Sunnis, and even if Makkah can have Patriot missile battery interceptors, so how do we know that this was not intentionally targeted by them? And by the way, even in Operation Sindoor, there was a missile sent to Golden Temple which we intercepted in Sirsa. So these Pakistanis and Iranis, they're capable of doing anything. So that is what is happening here. Now this Haifa mosque is gone. Iran is kind of threatening. Now America is bracing up for the impact. But Trump's patience is running low. Trump says, I don't have a lot of patience. So as long as they are ceremonial in nature, Americans won't respond. But if there are, unfortunately, God forbid, if there are a lot of American casualties or there is a lot of Israeli casualties, the hell is going to break loose. Now this is a time when the world can just enter World War III. Just like this. And another second you're in World War III. This is the moment which can happen. And if the mullah in the bunker thinks that, so if something happens, is my gut, they will try to attack. They will try to attack. Even if it's suicide, they will do it. This regime is bloody suicidal. They're 𝗍𝗙𝗏𝗏. That's why I call them 𝗍𝗙𝗏. Though there are some explosions which I heard near Qatar, capital Doha, and in some amid US-Iran tension. We don't know what these explosions are. This is just coming. This is breaking as we talk. So, as I was telling you, there is a possibility they will do. So, friends, let's keep our fingers crossed. And I have also simulated a model. What is the chance what they are going to do most? I wanted to reiterate this to this factor because I know there will be a lot of questions which will come. Breaking explosion Qatar. So, Sachin Bhai is faster than F-35 here. So now this is going to happen. Now let's see. Keep our fingers crossed. The logic does not work with the mullah regime. Khomeini, there were a lot of time. Oh my God, a lot of time. I have to complete a lot of things. Oh, I love this PGurus session. At times, I think several expressions Qatar will do to us. Oh, several. Oh, okay. This Qatar base was always on the targets. And take my word on Syria and take my word on Syria and what? Syria and Iraq. They will attack these two also. Qatar was always on the radar. But let's see. The shit is going to hit the fan, brother. I It's not what I want. It's not what I like. The shit is going to hit the fan. And let me be very candid. You have to think like them to predict them. If you can think like them, you can predict them. It's not very difficult because I know what do they think. I know how do they think. Logic doesn't work with them. No logic will work with them. So the anti-logic is the only logic which works with them. Anyway, let's not go into the thinking pattern. Now, Trump is unhappy about two things. Trump is talking about three things broadly. First thing Trump is talking about that if you touch me, I'll burn you out. I'm preparing for everything. Like, looks like Iran has attacked Qatar at US base. Swear to God, last 10 minutes I've been telling you they will attack. I had no information. I had no intel. I am talking to you right now. Here my hands are. I don't know, but I told you they will attack because I know the bloody mentality. I know this mentality. They will attack. It doesn't matter they get decimated. They will attack. They will try to fight and if they attack them on Qatar, and Qatar is one of the biggest bases, which possibly houses a lot of US Marines and all, I don't 10,000 of them. Trump is going to go bazooka. He's going to beat the shit out of them. Let's complete this program because there might be a lot of developments which are happening. Now, Trump has three things. First, if you attack my men and my men are killed, I'm going to go out of the box. I'm going to destroy Iran's military. So far, Trump has not taken on military targets. Look at what Marco Rubio said yesterday. He said, well, the B-2s were coming and going. We had a lot of military targets. But we chose not to take down the military targets because that is what not our mission was. My mission was three. Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. I did it. I came back. I had military targets in my May. I had my planes in the sky, but I chose not to attack them because that is what my mission was. But if you cross the red line, if you attack my military targets, I'll dismantle everything you have, and you have no defense. You are bloody defenseless. You have no defense. Your all defense is gone. I'll decimate anything and everything what you have. So this is what Trump has said. This is what Marco Rubio said. This is what J.D. Vance is repeating. If they have crossed the red line, I'm telling you, it's the end of Iran. And there are a lot of people I say, this regime is controlling the shots. And Mohammad Parkazain, I called him Parkazin. Pezeshkian his name. But I've given him a name, Parkazin. You are doing, you're trying to make money. Because Iran only produces 3% of the oil. If the oil prices go by 10 or 15%, bloody hell, don't do it, man. I'm watching you. And I'm going to come after all of you. Don't increase the oil prices because oil prices puts a pressure on the American economy. Oil prices puts a pressure on industry going back to America, manufacturing going back to America. For manufacturing to go back to America, the oil prices need to be at $67 to $67. We have discussed that. And Trump says, bring it back to $67. Don't try to increase the prices. Mr. MBS and Mr. Everybody in OPEC, don't do it. I'm watching you. And if I'm watching you, it's not going to be good because I know how to retaliate. Trump has this hammer of tariffs. So if you don't mess with me on prices, I'll impose tariffs. I'll impose 20, 40, 50% tariff on you. Then you will be coming like China and saying, sir, please help me, sir. So Trump has threatened the OPEC, don't mess with the prices. And prices going up is not good for any economy in the world. Even in India, it's not good. Our food, logistics, transport, insurance, and the manufacturing cost will go up. This is what we in India think is going to happen. So Trump is very threatening on that. Third, Trump is very sure. He says, look, we did not attack the military targets. We attacked the nuclear targets. Our mission was to go and dismantle the nuclear targets, what we have done. So my job is settled, but still doesn't surrender. If this regime still doesn't talk, what do I do then? So Mr. Trump, what are you going to do? I need to change the regime. Okay, you need to change the regime. Yes, I need to change the regime. Make Iran great again, MEGA. First, MEGA was for India. Make India great again. Now it's for Iran. Make MEGA. What is the MEGA of Iran? The MEGA movement of Iran is we are going to change the mullah regime. We are going to topple the mullah regime. And the Congress is saying, how can you do it, Mr. President? Italy targeting, okay. Like it, 𝗓𝗓𝗏 base, right? Used by US for missile activated against from Iran missile. Yeah, Patriot missiles. They have Patriot missiles there. They have a lot of missiles there. They get 6 American casualties. And there are American casualties. I swear to God, they're going to bleed from all the holes there. They're going to bleed from all the holes there. And now the UK will join in. USA will join in. France will join in. Germany will, and they will pound this regime. And they will. And I don't think Khomeini's body will ever be found because it will be buried in that bunker, even if he's alive. Nobody is going to recover that body ever. Now, this is what is going to happen, guys. My hunch increases. Khomeini is possibly over. This is what is going to happen. And so Trump says, I will change the regime. If regime is changed, that is what I want to do. I will kind of change the regime. And if regime is, Congress says, how can you do it, Mr. President? You're putting America into war. He says, no, I'll decide which war to go, which war to go. You're not going to stop me. Your Congress is not going to stop me. I'm going to do whatever it is. And Trump had a very clear point of view on Iraq. He said, don't go into Iraq. But if you go into Iraq, keep the oil. If you go into the Iraq, then when you come back, keep the oil. And that's what I believe in. If you go there, keep the oil. Don't return the oil, man. Keep the oil with you. Now, who's going to fund the war? If you give the oil to them, they will again build Hezbollah, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, the A-Jihad, B-Jihad, C-Jihad, D-Jihad, 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗪𝗏, 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗪𝗏, 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗪𝗏. They will build something. Because if they get money, they can only think of buying bombs and going nukes. So Trump is right. You go there, if you want there, keep the oil. So look, today, will Barakat Hussain Obama, will you pull him out, that Barakat Hussain Obama or Osama, whatever his name is, then will you tell him you still wanted to cut a deal with these mullahs? You still wanted to give them $84 billion to buy those missiles, which have been launched at your base? Would you still want to do what Obama you did? No, you betrayed America, you betrayed American interests, and you are the person who will be one day answerable for this. And when a person like me can predict this will happen, and a person like me have been predicting since yesterday, this will happen in next 48, 24 hours, they will attack. And swear to God, even when I was talking to you 10 minutes before, I said, yes, they will attack. They are crazy, they are mad, they are insane, they will do it. So I hope it doesn't have a lot of casualties. So that is what we have. Meanwhile, I have to cover a few more topics, and we move to our friendly neighborhood, Pakistan. Not friendly neighborhood. Dying Pakistan, depleting Pakistan, 𝗣𝗘𝗙𝗍 Pakistan, 𝗤𝗍𝗘𝗐 Pakistan, 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝗏 Pakistan, 𝗪𝗚𝗐 pe boj Pakistan. That is Raat on Earth. 𝗪𝗚𝗐 pe boj in English, if I do the rough translation, is Raat on Earth, Pakistan. The land where, let me not get into it. Let me hold. I'll forget the topic. Let me go back. Let me go back to the topic. The topic is that today the guys in OIC, this Islamic, what do you call it? Islamic whatever, OIC, they have met and they have passed some comments on the Kashmir. Indian government has gone and slammed them right, left and center, saying, look, you have no business to bloody talk on Kashmir. You have no loca in Kashmir, and don't teach us what to do and what not to do on Kashmir. You are driven by Pakistan. You are driven into a well by Pakistan, and it is so shameful. And after so many years, the OIC is still talking of Kashmir, and still Pakistan, who is a liability on OIC, who's bloody good for nothing, who's a wrath on earth, who's the shithole of the earth, sorry to use this word, is driving the agendas of OIC. And we don't accept you, we don't care about you, we don't bother about you, you might be whoever you are, go to hell. That is what India said. No, not exactly. I'm just putting in my style, in my language. But this India says, you literally go to hell. I don't care who you are. And this is what it is. So again, Pakistan, Erdogan and all, you can see them, what is Aurangzeb and all hugging each other and all, Ishaq Dar, the usual suspects, the usual terrorists who go there from Turkey and Pakistan. And they were trying to do this. And so India has really slammed them right, left and center. But one thing which India must also realize that, you cannot buy friendship with these guys. There's no point to waste money. I have been always saying, don't waste our money buying friends, changing hearts. Buying friends and changing hearts doesn't happen in one part of the world. They come from that part of the world where it doesn't happen. So we have to be very clear on that. And whatever we may not like it, this is how I look at it. When I look at you, you're looking at me, I can see you, you can see me. But what if this glass is blue? So their prism has a religious prism on it. Their OIC meeting is a religious meeting. Their OIC condemnation on and talking about Kashmir is a religious thing. It is not a geopolitical thing. It's not a political thing. It's not an economic thing. So if I want to look through my glass, I'll see whatever it is. But he's looking through a red glass. He will see everything red. So what I need to do is I also need to have a small prism after that and see through that, so that I'm able to also see what is happening. What is that prism? The prism is you have to know the religion of the people you're dealing with. You have to understand the religious ethos of the people you're dealing with. You have to understand the mentality of the people you have to dealing with. You have to understand that actors and non-state actors like Khomeini whom you are dealing with. You have to understand these people are crazy and dangerously insane. These people have been crying for last 50 years, death to America, death to Israel, and death to anybody, death to him, death to him, death to him. They are the merchants of death. In the modern day, if there was a merchant of Venice, and if the modern day there is a merchant of death, you know whom to call. He's a merchant of death, because all 40 years what I've heard him, death to him, death to him, death to him, everybody should die. We should survive. Everybody should die. That is the reality of the world what we live in. So this is what is happening there. So India slammed it. And then there's one gentleman in Pakistan. Gentleman? Okay, I don't know. Is man, woman? Do you know the gender? Oh, okay. You know the gender, but you know the sexual preference. Oh, no, that's none of our business. None of our business. Just people were asking me once, I thought. Well, none of our business. By the way, this person, whatever he does is punishable by death in Islam. That's what people say. I'm not an Islamic scholar, so I won't comment. Just I heard from somewhere, I wanted to say, want to comment. Now, these people are saying that if India does not give us the Indus Water Treaty, Pakistan is going to go on war, baby. Bloody hell. Bring it on, boy. Bring it on. You got whacked in Operation Sindoor. Your nuclear sites are contaminated. They're possibly leaking. Your Mullah Munir is polishing the shoes of Trump. He's licking his shoes. I want to say something else, but I'm holding up. This is what you are. And you threaten us with war. What are you saying? What did by the way, Mr. Amit Shah said yesterday, we are not going to restore this Indus Water Treaty. This is permanently cancelled. Go to hell, fly a kite, go and jump from the tallest tower or the tallest mountain you have in Kabul. Right? So that's what he said. So Bilawal says, if you don't give us the water, we are going to wage a war against India. So Bilu boy, come on, bring a war. You tried it 5 times. So what did you get? Nothing. You are even hiding your nets. And what does he say? If India doesn't give me water, what I'm going to do? I'm not forget 3 rivers. I'm going to take the water from all the 6 rivers. Then they basically saying it will be my territory. Then I'll divert all the rivers to Pakistan. I wanted to show him something, but I don't know. I don't want to offend those filters of YouTube. Otherwise, I don't want to do that. You know, these morons, these nincompoops, these elite brats, these half here, half there Pakistani politicians who don't even know who killed his mother, who don't know who killed his grandfather, and now they're doing the bootlicking of the same Pakistani army, talking of the rhetoric. Bloody hell! You are servants of China. Your failed field marshal was summoned by Trump. You didn't go there for coffee. He was summoned by Trump. You betrayed the whole Ummah. You're good for nothing. You are a blot of being your mother's son. You are a blot of being a prime minister, being an ex-foreign minister of Pakistan. And if nincompoops like you start being in the power, I'm sorry for the poor people of Pakistan. Your life will never change. You are never going to get what you promised. You were betrayed and you were befooled from Jinnah and his progeny, not exact progeny, but the political progeny like Bilawal Bhutto Zardari is again doing the thing. Bilawal, do you bloody understand what you're talking, boy? Do you even have an idea what the fish you are talking? You will take 6 rivers from us. You have to be born next life. It's not going to happen in this life, boy. You need to die, born again. Then possibly you can think of that. In this life, it is not going to happen, Billy boy. Yeah, it won't happen. Try your luck. Try your luck. Go and ask your field marshal, does he have the balls to even try that? We will bomb you to Stone Age. We'll dismantle you. We'll finish you off. We'll break Pakistan into 4 parts. You are trying to threaten us. You are trying to threaten us. You will take our 6 rivers. You must be insane. You must be with the Khomeini. What is difference between Khomeini and you is he's a little bit older than you. No, Lord. You're 36, he's 86. You are, and you know, that's why I say a pada likha jihadi, a literate jihadi or illiterate jihadi, they again think the same. The only difference between Khomeini and this guy is he doesn't wear that black turban, he doesn't have that dape, and he doesn't have a big white beard. Imagine him wearing the same thing. They exactly talk the same thing. Khomeini's English might be a little bit weaker than him, but his Persian is much stronger than this boy. So boy, wake up and smell coffee. Today, your friendly neighborhood and your real papa, China is even scared of Bharat. What the hell can you do? Do you think you are a chance? Do you think you can really do anything? You are a shithole of the world. You are the garbage pit of the world. You are that stinking garbage pile which nobody wants to walk by. And there are a lot of people who have come to your country and they made videos and say, how does the Pakistan stink? It stinks like a shithole. That is what you are. And that is what you are. Ethos is, your identity is. You have a diseased DNA. You have 25% of the kids born with genetic disorders. You marry 70% of the country of your cousins. And in your country, 90% of the boys get raped. That is what is Pakistan about. And you want to come and threaten us? Are you sure? I think you should do what you should do, boy. You should take the next flight, try to run away from Pakistan, go to all those clubs in London where you go and do whatever you are doing. By the way, if Pakistanis catch you, you know what are they going to do with you? And if somebody puts a blasphemy charge on you, not even God can see you after that. So boy, run away. Don't try to scare India. Your grandfather tried it, your mother tried it, all your generals tried it. They're all somewhere in, I don't want to insult the dead, you know where they are now. So that is exactly what's going to happen to you. एक हिंदी में कहावत है, यही हसरत लेके फौत हो जाएगा. You will die with this desire in your heart and your whole soul will be wandering, because unfilled desires make souls wander, right? And so if you want to become a wandering soul, it's up to you. Stop threatening us. Don't threaten us. Because when you threaten us, you know what do? We laugh. We say we like the style of saying Urdu. You have a very comical style of showing Urdu. Ham ye kari gi ham Bharat ki pani legi. Wow. By the way, guys, I have a suggestion. Imagine there was this movie Three Idiots, right? There was a character, Mr. Chatur, excellent actor, fantastic actor. Don't you think Bilawal could have done a better role? Imagine Bilawal as Chatur, or a script. Imagine Bilawal as a Chatur. He could have done a fantastic role. Next time, when we are making a movie like that, we'll consider you because you're fit for nothing. So my sincere advice, pack your bags and keep running, boy. Don't live in Pakistan. It's a dangerous place because Chinese are unhappy with you. Russians are not happy with you. And somebody told me Israelis have made a list wherein they have identified some biodatas from Pakistan which might be sent on DTH service. DTH, direct to who? So you might be, some Pakistanis will be dispatched, I can tell you for that, sure. But not now because they're busy with a lot of things right now. Priorities are different. So, boy, make sure you're not on the list. And when the time remains, go. By the way, unknown gunmen are still active in Pakistan. You know what happens? No, your Pakistani army police could not protect your mother. I'm so sorry. I have my heartfelt condolences. What makes you think you're so special? What makes you think you're so elite? No, boy, don't try it. We love you, Urdu. You're a great character. We love your comedy. You're somebody who we adore when you speak. You know what do? We don't get threatened. We laugh. And when we laugh, our lungs start bursting. So we want that political comedy of Pakistan to continue. We want that sarcastic tinge of Pakistan to continue. We want to keep on making fun of you. We want to laugh about you. We want to giggle about you. And we want you to be the talk of our, 𝗤𝗘𝗏𝗪𝗧. Because don't deprive us that favor. So be what you are and keep only doing what you are. Because don't cross the red line. A lot of people who cross the red line nowadays, where do they end up? So I'll rest my thoughts here. I hope the message has gone loud and clear and the boy will mend his ways. I hope. Otherwise, life is not so fair. I like the Lion King's dialogue. Well, Puma, life is not fair. Well, life is not so fair, boy. Okay, friends, on that note, sorry I exceeded my brief. I exceeded my time and I think we have to now move to questions and answers. There must be a lot of them. Okay. Happy birthday, Sumaji. Nice suit, sir. Not my birthday today, sir. Not my birthday today, but suit. Thank you for the compliment. I always love them. Pakistani nukes are not so deep, sir. Pakistani nukes are not so deep. They don't have a rock protecting them. They are a little bit below the ground. Look, Natanz and Isfahan was destroyed by Pakistan only. They destroyed them with the 𝗤𝗢𝗏𝗄 𝗔𝗚 and 𝗤𝗢28s. And the Pakistani nukes are not so deep. You have to just contaminate the site. Today, the game of the site rule is don't leak the site, contaminate the site. Contamination is good enough to kill the site. And when you make the periphery leak, the site gets contaminated. The site gets contaminated, and then when these urofluorides are released, and if they are present in the air, immediate death. Whoever moves this will die. And I hope a lot of Pakistanis end up going there. Next question. Will UAE be attacked? There's a possibility, sir. There's a very big base in UAE which can be attacked. And this is a very strategic base for Americans. Base in UAE, base in Syria, base in Qatar, and base in Iraq. These 4 bases are likely the target. They will be. My best playing 15%. Sumit Putin is serious to support Iran or just playing to gallery since said that Israel has 15% Russian Jewish population who is to be protected. Now you have the answer, sir. Putin is just playing to the galleries. I'll tell you why. It's not Jewish population. Jewish population is one of the definitely a strong reason. But second reason is, sir, what you will get by protecting the mullah regime? Why should you put your man machinery, your lives, your arsenal, and your geopolitical interests on risk? What does Putin get in return? Nothing. And does Putin even know Khomeini is alive? Because I heard that Parkizin is carrying a handwritten letter of Khomeini. How does Putin know? I hope Putin is not a handwriting expert. So even to Putin, the Khomeini is not talking on a secured line. There are encryptions which can be used to have a secure chat. So my suspicion is growing more and more. It's gone, but we'll come to know. because Putin will get nothing out of Iran. And in the return, he'll make enemies like more of Europe, America, and so many people in the world. When he does his cost-benefit analysis, it makes no sense to support the Mullah regime. So he will do all the lip services. Okay, good, I'll do this, I'll do this. So yeah, he has told Israelis don't touch Bushehr because that's a red line. As long as Israelis don't do that, and if they don't do Dimona, they will not do Bushehr. I'm telling you, if you touch Dimona, Bushehr will happen. So don't touch Dimona, don't touch Bushehr. Things are going happy. This Mullah regime should call it a day and hang their boots. That's my take on it. Next question. Suji, are they blocking UAE and Qatar routes for our supplies? They will block Strait of Hormuz and not UAE and Qatar routes. But if the rockets are flying, so usually the airspace gets blocked. They will cut the airspaces immediately. If the airspaces are cut, that's where the problem is. Unless until airspaces are not cut, the problem is not. But when you kind of block your airspace or close down your airspace, that's where the problem is. So this regime is capable of doing a lot of things which is insane, and insanity in their world is morality. So insanity in their world is called morality. So if for you and me to be insanity, for them it will be morality and bravado. That's how they are. So what if Israel runs out of the options and Iran is striking population instead of military targets? Will Israel use nukes? Israel, one of the red lines is Bushehr, which I tried to explain you. Israel has a lot of options before nukes. Nukes will be only used if Israel comes into an existential crisis. It's now or never. The Israel doesn't remain. Then, of course, they will use nukes. But before that, they will not use Israel with its own kinetic power and with the kinetic power of the Americans. They're good enough to dismantle anything. And by the way, the Mullah regime has been targeting only the Israeli civilians. They are not targeting any military installations. You see, all the bombs have been coming on Tel Aviv, Haifa, Bethlehem, all residential areas. No military targets, all residential. Still, even as on today, IDF is kind of only targeting military targets. That's the difference between a Mullah army and the Mullah brigade. Sorry, not army. I have to apologize for calling it the army. So that's the difference between the Mullah brigade and the professional army. Professional armies don't kill civilians. Mullah armies can kill only civilians because they don't dare to, cross their swords with the professional armies. Next question, Sachin bhai. So, sir, has Iran already smuggled out the uranium? Will play any role? Sir, this is a big issue. It's a big thing. I've done a program on my channel, Bharat Vichar. You can watch that. There's a video which I've done in the morning. I've explained everything. But it's a 60-minute program. I can't explain you. I've explained you all the scenarios. Maybe you have a look there. Next. Sumiji, there are so many fights heading towards Doha, looking at a flight radar. Happens to lose those fights because one man while population is suffering. I told you, brother, I agree with you. This one man, I have been talking on national TV. Let it be Doordarshan, Music, India News, wherever. I say, a mullah wearing a black tape cannot determine who will live and die. And you cannot be always saying, die, this die, that die, ye marega, wo marega. I call him the merchant of death. What is this man? This man is merchant of death. Because last 40 years, he's got death to America, death to Israel, death to him. I mean, what the hell is wrong with you? You need medical treatment. So, and that is how people suffer. Even the poor people of Iran are suffering. I pity them also. They are unnecessarily caught into this quagmire. But what to do, sir? And we don't want to be, you and me don't want to be caught here. Definitely don't want to be caught here. Next, sir. Sir, will JD be better to India than Trump? Trump is not bad for India, sir. Whatever has happened, JD will not be bad for India. Because today, America needs India more than India needs America. And India is a rising star. And Modi is a man who knows how to place his cards. Modi is a man who knows where the interests of India are. With Modi ji in place, you can even turn climate into opportunity. I can assure you that because I have seen him do that. So don't worry on that. So there won't be a problem. Even what my prediction, if you ask me, my hunch, JD is going to be more hawkish than Trump. Take my word. Sir, what do you think about Bharat's strategic autonomy now? Sir, I have been saying for 1 year, Himanshu bhai, it's not sustainable, because it's not the strategy is good or strategy was bad or strategy was no. The geopolitics is changing at a much faster pace. You cannot fit in that strategy today. People will tell you, if you're not with us, you're with them. That is what is going to happen. Like, we clearly took a side vis-a-vis Israel. And when Mohammed Pezeshkian or Parkasen, I love to call him Parkasen, when he called, we said, okay, we are concerned. We request for an immediate ceasefire. Beyond that, nothing. Do what you have to do. And do you think we can? We want to go and we want to go and we want to go and tell people of Israel, no, we are the guarantee they will not be nuked one day. They will not come and kill you. The 7th October 2023 will never happen again. No, nobody can guarantee them. Can Trump guarantee them? Nobody can guarantee Netanyahu. If I'm Netanyahu, how can I agree to you? You can be even Trump or Modi or Putin or anybody. I made sure that I have a plan and you come along and help me dismantle. If you can't work with me, at least don't oppose me. That is what Netanyahu will say. If you can't help me, okay, but don't oppose me. That's the best I expect from you. Next. My assessment says 70 to 80%. Personal assessment, I have no information. And I can't have information on this. Oh, China should never dare. China does not fight. They still read the Shinzu. You know what the Shinzu tell them? How to win a war without fighting a war. They still believe in that. Swear to God, they believe in Shinzu. They say Shinzu is right. We can win war without fighting war. And 𝗥𝗘𝗙 has 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗪. History holds the testimony. The world has been only won on the might of swords, not by throwing dollars. If China thinks by throwing dollars they can win the world, good luck to them and good luck to the world. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, China. Chinese cannot fight. Take it from me. They're very coward. I am not trying to insult the civilization, but this is what they are. They got whacked in Vietnam. They have never seen a war. They will go and talk Shinzu. When it's war, they will talk. They will have this red garrison parading and showing you those missiles and all. But do you think they will have the courage to use them? I'll take you to a Hindi movie called Damni. There's a dialogue. This Sunny Deol with a pistol or something. The dialogue says कि ये खिलौना दुनिया के हर बाजार में मिलता है, पर इसको चलाने के लिए जो मर्द का जिगर है वो दुनिया के बाजार में नहीं बिकता. That is applicable what is to China. On that note, I think Sachin bhai, we have more questions. Yes or no? I think we're done with them, right? Okay, on that note, I'll take your leave. What I have to request you today, I was speaking to you from my heart. No holds barred. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. Press on the bell icon where you subscribe to all 4. And please put it on your WhatsApp groups. Please put it on your WhatsApp groups with a recommendation. And I hope you will oblige your brother, your friend, chota bhai, bada bhai, whatever, anna, bhaiya, whatever you call me, beta, you will oblige me. And you will help me on that. On that note, Bharat Mata ki jai, Vandhe Matram, Om Namah Parvati Pataya, Har 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 Mahadev.